Okay, I'm going to do some screen sharing with you right now, and we're going to talk about tiny house foundations and proper fastening techniques. So, alrighty, here we go. So keep in mind, I won't be able to see your comments or questions, so keep those on hand, maybe jot them down as we go through so that you can ask me them when we get to the Q&A shortly. All right, so we're Sherree and Charlie Colindres. We're here in beautiful Sisters, Oregon. We are the founders, head dreamers, and hands-on builders here at New Creation Tiny Homes. Our tiny house dream began about 6 years ago. After devoting 20 plus years to international poverty and disaster relief building, I saw a great need in how we provided those types of buildings to people. Generally, we were building 150 to 200 square foot property or home for someone that included a front door, a window, and a very, very small domicile with no facilities whatsoever. When I learned about the tiny house movement, I thought, this would be a fantastic way to really be able to change people's lives. With a degree in architecture and interior design, I put my skills to work at designing tiny homes. And so today we'll share some of those with you so that you can see the kind of work that we do. I was ever so blessed during my very first build to hire this wonderfully talented craftsman to come alongside me and assist me with my build. It didn't take long for him to catch my vision for changing people's lives and building tiny house dreams. We got married, and the rest is history. So here at New Creation Tiny Homes, we offer 3 main approaches to living the tiny house dream. We, of course, build tiny houses in many sizes and varieties. We teach tiny house building fundamentals via co-op builds where builders can come out and join us for a weekend or an extended build and get hands-on experience with building with us. And then we also, let me pause right there. Those are all on timeout right now for coronavirus. So at this time, it doesn't look like we'll have any build workshops this year, unfortunately. But we do build tiny house shells as well as our tiny houses. So we'll talk about those a little later on as well. So again, keep in mind I can't see your questions or your comments, so be sure and jot those down in case you have any questions. So today we're going to start talking about the importance of proper framing and fastening of your tiny home. So we always begin with a strong foundation to build on. We start with an Iron Eagle custom tiny house trailer that's been fully designed and equipped to carry the load and distribute the weight of a tiny house built on top of a trailer. They include extra features in their builds, such as the build flange, so that your framing has a sturdy place to land, the drop belly, so that your floor framing is at the level base of the trailer, so you have extra building height. And they also will customize trailers for any specific tiny house that you design. They come with pre-drilled holes for assisting you in fastening your tiny house to your foundation trailer. This is a look at the belly pan, which you can see allows for your floor framing to be dropped down into that fully enclosed drop belly so that you don't have any penetration from the ground up into your underfloor area. That's great for keeping all kinds of things out, whether you're traveling or living in the prairie where there might be rodents or whatever. But in addition to that, it also gives you a really great way to fasten that initial step in your framing to the trailer. So you will actually put your rim joist right up next to the trailer and fasten that via carriage bolts into the trailer. So all of that floor framing is securely mounted to the steel of the trailer. Next, we put the sill plates on, so you can see those around the edge of the trailer. And those are the pre-drilled holes that come in. Generally, when we're building, we put bolts in each hole, and then as the framing goes up, maybe one needs to move or come out to accommodate for the placement of studs and windows and openings and things like that. But here you can see how we have a double sill plate there, and it's fastened tightly and securely to the steel of the trailer. This is going to give you a really strong foundation to do your vertical building with. And here you can see a completed base. We also do some of our plumbing through the floor, so that's what you're seeing running through the middle there. And then the insulation, of course, we insulate the base of the trailer to give some thermal bridging between the steel of the trailer and the wood of your tiny home. All right, so we're going to go upward now. So we're going to talk about some vertical framing and how we employ special techniques to be able to ensure that you have a strong and sturdy frame of your tiny house that will stand the test of time, give you strength for shear force winds, as well as any racking that might occur when traveling. We recently took a tiny house down to Fresno, California. And if you've ever driven on Highway 99 in California, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, okay. Bear with me, guys. Okay, so this is a 3D framing plan for one of our current models that we're building. And you can see here how the sill plate comes directly in contact with that flange of the trailer. And so that's fastened along the entire frame of the trailer, all the way around each side using carriage bolts. Additionally, we also use steel strapping on the exterior of the framing, and that will give you additional horizontal strength for racking and wind shear. All of our studs and rafters and joists are fastened to our frame with hurricane ties and fasteners. And then, as you can see denoted here, the little red indicators are actually all thread structural steel rods. And we feel that this is one of the most important features in our design at ensuring that you have a home that isn't just going to be a temporary, 5-year home or something of that nature, but we build to full residential code, and this house should last you just as long as a house that we would build for you on the ground. And the way that we ensure that is to give it strength and structural stability. And so these all thread rods are key in giving that extra strength and security. So those run through the steel of the trailer and all the way up through the double top plate. Let me zoom in here and see if I can get a view of that. Sorry, hold on. Whoa. So they go up through the double top plate. They're fastened with a locking washer and bolt. And then as we continue to load the materials of the house on, we actually weld that at the top of the house so that that can never come loose or come off. And then the rods tend to slack and become loose as we load on the materials of the house. So throughout the build, we're continually adjusting the tension in those rods to ensure that it's a nice, tight seal. At the end of the build, it sounds like a beautifully tuned piano. And those are placed in strategic locations on every side of the tiny house. You can see here that we've got them in several different places on the front side. It's always kind of tricky when we're building a house because we tend to put a lot of windows in. And so it takes a little extra maneuvering sometimes to get the rods in the place that they're best suited for securing the structure. But we've got 3 on this side We've got 2 here on the tail. Sorry, the tongue side. And then on the back side, we've got another 2. And again, it really depends on how we can space those with the windows and cut throughs of the house to be able to ensure that we're getting a fully encompassed structural adherence on each side. And then again, back on the tail side here. All right, I see my husband monitoring the time for me here. So we just want to recap here in that the vertical fastening and the initial framing of your trailer, the importance of getting all of those elements in there that will ensure that you have a home that will stand the test of time, stand up to wind shear forces, and guard against any racking. So we do that via the carriage bolts, the strapping, the hurricane ties, and of course, the all-important structural steel rods. This is the exterior of a current build that we're doing, and you can see our guy there hard at work. So when you're getting ready to DIY, whether it's a choice to start from scratch or to buy something pre-built, there are things that you want to know. So you want to make sure that you have these 5 things. If you're thinking of DIYing, you want to make sure that you have the knowledge to build a structure that is sound and will last the test of time and be worth all of your effort in the long run, that you'll have a sturdy, well-built home. You'll have the skills to complete each stage of the build. Do you have the availability to the tools? Can you borrow them, rent them, or buy them? Do you have the time to complete the job? And do you have friends or family who are going to help you along the way of the build? There are many parts of a build when you're building a tall structure on a mobile foundation that require more than one hand. If all of this seems like a daunting task, well, New Creation Tiny Homes can help you with that. We offer our DIY tiny house shells in 3 different options to meet your skill level, your time frame, and your budget. We do all the hard work, and you finish out your tiny house in your own time, taste, and style. We offer shells from 16 to 30 feet, and they start at about $12,500. We build 16 to 30 feet long and up to 10 feet wide. This is our base model shell, and this includes your trailer, your subfloor, your framing, your exterior sheathing, roof framing, house wrap, and roof underlayment. This is a very, very popular model. We do ship nationwide, but there are some places this one cannot go. So check with us if this is the style you're interested in. Our Deluxe model is our most popular. We call it the weathered in model. So it includes everything in the basic, plus your siding, windows, doors, and roofing material. And you get your choice of those. So there's different choices available for that. And then lastly is our Deluxe Plus shell. That includes all of the previous, plus your interior framing of lofts and bathroom walls. We also have the addition to upgrade and add plumbing, electricity, and insulation. If you have us do much more than that, you might as well just have us build you a whole house. Alrighty, so I just want to let you know that if you're participating in this event, we're happy to save you 20% off a DIY shell and an extra 5% off that if you order a tiny house shell in May. So let's hear what you guys have to say. Okay, hi guys, I can see you now. Thank you so much for your comments, appreciate it. The first question comes from Sarah, and she asks, what is the R factor in the floor insulation and how thick is that insulation? We do several different things. So we're putting some of our plumbing through the floor. So we want to ensure we come from a climate that is very chilly for a long period of time. So we really try to ensure that we're not going to have frozen pipes. So we do a layer of dense foam that is underneath the floor joists, and that can range from a 7 to 10 R value. We wrap our pipes as well, so you're gaining a small amount of R value there, and then we top that with an R30. So we can be anywhere from an R37 to an R40 in our floor insulation. Thank you for that question. Really excellent. Do we do heated floors, Brandy? Yes, we actually are a very popular option with our tiny houses is radiant floor heat. It's fully adequate for heating the entire tiny house, keeping it nice and toasty warm, and it also helps with that underfloor water, so it keeps that flowing all year round. Have you had any experience with building for seniors? And I think that was designing for seniors, and how do you accommodate for ADAs? So I'm going to show you one of our newest models. It's our Amari, and it was specially designed with the needs of seniors or ADA needs in mind. And we've widened some of the spaces to accommodate for a wheelchair or walker. All on one level, bedroom and living space all on one level. So Kelly, you'll see some more information about that as we continue. All right, let's see. Getting a few more questions about insulation, it looks like. So when we're building a house on spec or for stock, we usually do an upgraded insulation in the walls and roof and floors because we just don't know where the house is going to go. And then we'll customize that for each individual buyer with their preference of type of insulation. And then for their particular climate as well. So, yeah, thank you for that question. We have a question, can you install a vacuum cleaning system? I actually have seen those. It's a pretty nifty little setup. We haven't yet done that, but it is something that is possible. Do we do off-grid builds? Yes, we do. We can do a full off-grid setup for you, or a combination plug and play and off-grid. Welcome, Suzanne. Nice to see you here. Sorry, a lot of questions coming in. They go by quickly. So if I don't get to your question, feel free to message me afterwards. And I'm not sure how the time cutoff goes, whether they actually cut us off when we're done or, whether we have extra time. But we'll stay on as long as there are questions. And if you can't get your question answered here, feel free to contact us. We'll leave our contact information there so that you can get your questions answered. Okay, we have a question from Sophie. How far apart are your floor joists since they only have an 8-foot span? We do ours at 16 on center. It makes for better securement of the subfloor and any structural walls that are inside that might be weight bearing. I know that some people do them on 24s, but we prefer to do them on 16s. Diane, thank you for the help. Oh, and they say they won't cut us off. Thank you, guys. Susan's asking about our co-op builds. Again, I just want to reiterate that we have had to cancel those this summer because of the coronavirus, but it's a really fun and interactive time, whether it's a 2 or 3 day tiny house shell build, or whether we do a full 21-day full house build. It's a lot of fun. We don't require that you have any building experience. We come to the plate with everything that you need, all the tools, all the knowledge, all the expert, information to begin every day. And we do it step by step, kind of a show and tell kind of situation. We're going to show you what you're going to do. We're going to show you how to do it. And then you get to actually do it yourself. So we have mentors on site that, help everybody at every different level of building experience, whether you've never held a hammer before or whether you're, a contractor trying to get into tiny houses. We get a wide range of people. So Susan, thank you for that question. Paige wants to know, do we do goosenecks? We do. And I actually have a new gooseneck model coming out later this year. So give us a call. We'd love to build a gooseneck for you. Eric wants to know plywood versus OSB. So when we're building a tiny house, there's a lot of considerations that go into the designing and the building. And weight is a huge one. So we always try to weigh the benefit of the material, whether it be plywood or OSB, to the ultimate weight of the structure. So if there are other elements that are more weighty, then we might opt for one or the other. We do a lot of clean building as well. So, we try to match those materials with the particular build. And so we're versatile in that and try to work with what our homeowners are looking for. Thank you, Lindsay, for the praise. Appreciate it. Can you do a 10 by 28 gooseneck? I would be curious to know if that is a trailer size that we could get done for us. We'd be happy to check into it for you. That would be a fun build. And Stacy wants to know if we are building a lot of tiny houses right now with the COVID. And all praise be to God, we are building tiny houses right now. So it's mainly myself and my husband here. And so we have our own property. And so, yes, praise be to God, we are still building. So lots of great stuff going on around here, and we're going to share that with you as well. So I'm going to pause on your questions right now just so that we can end in a timely manner. And I want to share with you some of our upcoming new models for 2020, and then I'll pop back for more questions, okay? All right, give me a second. Oh. All right, so new for 2020. We're so excited. We have our brand new sashi. This one is underway and being built right now. This is our beautiful new sashi. This is a 20-foot, 205 square foot tiny house with a front kitchen and large living area. Lots of windows, lots of great height. A large queen size loft, lots of wardrobe storage, space for washer and dryer combo or stacking unit or additional closet space depending on your need, and then a full 3-piece bath with lots of extra storage. This is our 10 by 30 225 square foot luxury tiny home with downstairs master bedroom. This is the Amari. So this home features dual French doors in the living room and master suite, and floor-to-ceiling windows in the passageway through the kitchen and bathroom area. It's got a huge loft, a 9x30 loft over the kitchen and bedroom and hallway. And like I indicated earlier, the hallway is nice and wide, so it can accommodate a walker or a small wheelchair if needed. And the bathroom and kitchen have a couple of different configurations. And we've bumped out onto the tongue on this model to give you an extra 3 feet of space that can be your humongous built-in wardrobe. This is the Amari. And all of these are on our website and on our Facebook page. So if you'd like more information, you can see us there, or you can definitely contact us and we'll have that information available as well. This is a very exciting thing. We are blessed to be part of the biggest tiny house giveaway coming this summer with the Indian Head Casino in Warm Springs, Oregon. They will be giving away this beautiful 20-foot Milagro, and they will have details to come, so you can look for their website, indianheadcasino.com. They will have entries for you all. Any participants of the webinar this weekend will be able to obtain free entry into the drawing for this tiny house. So you can contact us, visit our webpage, and also visit the Indian Head Casino page to get your entry for that. And lastly, we have our 2019 show model, this beautiful 26-foot fully loaded Milagro with every bell and whistle, lots of upgrades. The base price on this was $94.95, but we have it on sale right now for $79.95, and it is available fully furnished. Again, you can see lots of pictures of this on our website and Facebook page. So thank you all for joining in. We have a little bit over a minute left, so I will pop back over and take your questions. And like I said, I'll stick with you as long as you need. And if I don't get your question answered, feel free to please contact us outside of here on our website or Facebook page. All right, let me check a few questions here for you. Mark is asking if there are any tiny house remodelers out there. We haven't done any remodels, but we have helped a few people complete their tiny houses. So you can check back with us on that. Maybe someone will get back to us or pop up with that. Hey, Belinda, thanks for chiming in. Belinda's here, and she just wants to say, come on out to the Indian Head Casino when the world opens back up and enter for your chance to win this beautiful tiny house. Okay, still looking for questions here, so feel free if you've still got questions. Oh my God, make that go away. Do you offer financing? Great question, Alicia. Thank you. We do have several different options for financing available. We're actually in the process of updating our website and getting some of those new financing options available. So feel free to contact us through our website or have a look there. There are some great new options for tiny house financing on the way. So yes. It's always a good idea, Trish, to, if you're designing your own tiny house, to run it past an engineer to make sure that you are distributing your load properly and that you've addressed any elements in your design that might be, susceptible when traveling with your house. So, yes, always a good idea. Our website is newcreationtinyhomes.com. Thank you, Lori. Diane is asking about the weight and what's the best placement for the kitchen. Again, the design of your home is something that you take a lot of different elements into consideration for. So there is no one good place for the kitchen or living room or bathroom. You just kind of have to equal out the elements that you're putting in the house and then adjust your floor plan to accommodate the needs of that interior space that you're designing. So good question. So some of the houses that we showed you today, Brent, we've got our brand new Sashi starting at about 69,000 base price. Depending on the size and style that you're looking for, generally our houses start right in the $55,000 range and go up from there depending on how fancy you want it to be, what kind of things you want to put inside of it, elements, materials, cabinetry. There's lots of upgrades. So we can always start with a base model and, add the things that are most important to you to fit into your budget. So size and equipment is what really makes that price. So thank you. Okay, well, looks like our questions are winding down. Probably people are wanting to scoot off to the next. Oh, can we see the Sashi again? Yeah, I can pop back over there and let you have another look at the. I can pop over there and let you have another look at the Sashi. Let me do that for you. This is our Sashi, starting at $69.95, 205 square feet. It's got some fun elements on the exterior. It's got a nice, huge shed out there. It's about 5.5 feet wide, 2.5 feet deep, and thinking about 8 feet high. So you got lots of room for your camping gear and anything you might need to store, as well as some fun elements on the front there for maybe a little home garden, or maybe you have a collection that you want to share. Lots of great light in the windows, lots of windows there. Nice big kitchen. So this has got a 11 cubic foot refrigerator, a double induction cooktop, and nice size sink in your 45-inch counter space. This one's shown with a waterfall edge, live edge bar study storage area there. But again, we'll build that to taste as well. The loft will suit a queen size bed. And the closet storage is, to your taste. Alrighty, we'll just jet through these others one more time, just in case anybody had a question about those. So the Amari is a model base price of $89.95. And that's our lovingly called our senior model. It's got the full downstairs layout and nice wide hallway for accommodating a wheelchair or walker. And lastly, our ready to roll 26-foot Milagro on sale right now for $79.95 and available fully furnished. That's a 2-loft. All right, guys, thank you so very much for tuning in. We're so blessed to have had this opportunity to share some information with you and answer your questions. Feel free to contact us on our website or Facebook page. Thank you all. Have a great day. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.